This here is an Apple AirTag, and I made a video on TikTok that is nearing 5 million views at this point about why you shouldn't use one of these for a hidden GPS device for theft recovery on your motorcycle. I got enough attention with enough comments and enough other stuff that I wanted to go into a longer version of why I don't recommend this. Let's talk about the two words hidden GPS. First, the hidden part. So this is very, very small, which is great. I mean, there is countless locations you can put this thing, from in the foam seat, in an air filter, don't do that, in the ends of your handlebar if that's in the shot. It's just incredibly easy to hide. But here's the problem with AirTags, which is they are meant for you to find your own things and the things that you keep on your person at all times. But the problem is that the world is full of bad people, and so people started using these as stalking devices or ways to be able to track other people. So what Apple had to do is create a system where your phone would notify you if you're being followed by an AirTag that isn't assigned to your phone and the owner of the AirTag isn't also around. Let's say your partner has an AirTag on them and you're walking with them everywhere and you go, well, my phone doesn't go off. That's because they're still there next to you, so it's still their pet following them. As soon as they leave, I think Apple has said it's at most 8 hours. So it's not like seconds, but many people, even in the TikTok comments, have reported within 15, 20 minutes and their phone's going off saying, hey, there's an AirTag following you. So it's pretty damn quick. But what that means is that if I place this to hide it on my motorcycle and someone is stealing my bike and they start driving off with it, their phone is going to go off so long as it's an iPhone. Androids, you can get an app and scan for them, but I don't think it's automatic. iPhones, it's automatic. It will send a notification to your phone saying you're being followed by an AirTag that is not assigned to you, which essentially tells you, hey, there's an AirTag on the motorcycle you're stealing. Rip the bike apart until you find it and toss it into the street and keep riding. I believe that the thief, let's say, can also actually ask for this to make a noise. I know it does make a noise, but I think they can ask to ping it. You can remove the speaker from these. I've done it, but that doesn't negate the app point. That doesn't negate the notification that goes to your phone. So sure, it makes it a little bit more difficult, but the bike is a pretty small space. It isn't going to be too hard to try to find one of these, whether it's making the noise or not. So in terms of the hidden part, it's really not hidden. You can physically hide it really well, but so long as that person has a phone on them, especially an iPhone, they are easily going to become notified that this is on the bike, and that is the last thing I want. Oh, and if you're curious, I will tell you what to use instead at the end of this video. So that takes care of the hidden part. As for the GPS part, this is not GPS. So what this is Bluetooth. And what it does is when you're near it, your phone is near it, it connects to your phone and helps find it in its location and whatever. It's actually really accurate. If I was to even, I would be able to, on my phone, look at my AirTag and be able to find it and know which couch cushion my keys are under if they're attached to my keys. It's really accurate. But what it uses to get its map location is your phone and everyone else's phone if necessary. When this is away, let's say more than 30 feet away from your phone, it's on your backpack you left at the restaurant, let's say. And you go, well, my location's, it's still pinging the location of the AirTag and I'm not anywhere near it. What's it doing? It is actually it's connecting via Bluetooth to any iPhone user still within 30 feet of it to let us know its location. So it's like a lost kid where it's just going, hey, excuse me, iPhone, where am I right now? And the iPhone goes, well, I have GPS signal. I can tell you we're right about here. And the AirTag goes, thank you, appreciate it. I'm going to tell my owner. And so it connects via the whole system and whatever via someone else's iPhone. So what that means is that if an iPhone is not near this device within 30 feet, its location is unknown. It doesn't know where it is and it's not able to tell you where it is. So if this bike gets stolen by someone without an iPhone and they go ride it off, next to the highway or into a more a really suburban area or a rural area or things like that, and there isn't any phone near it, there's no signal. It's not going to show you where it is. So I just don't like a security device that requires an iPhone to be near it. So it's not very well hidden because it'll alert the user, it'll alert anyone with an iPhone or an Android depending of its existence. And it's not GPS because it uses Bluetooth of phones nearby, which makes it a pretty terrible hidden GPS system for theft recovery. Now with all of that out of the way, let me go over a few different points just off the top of my head that I can remember that people were asking about, whether there were questions, concerns, or disagreements. One is that for $29, it's better than nothing. And I completely agree. $29, no subscription, all you need is an iPhone and you can slap it on your bike. So at $29, it's going to be a lot cheaper than anything I'm going to recommend for a true GPS device, that it's kind of worth installing in a way. I just want it to be known that you shouldn't trust this. It has some really big restrictions on it that make me not want to rely on it for my motorcycles. Maybe if you got more of like a used bike you don't really care about, you spent $500 on Craigslist for, slap an AirTag on it and call it a day. You aren't going to be spending more money than this for a location tracker, so it's better than nothing. Another comment was, well, remove the speaker and then hide it really well. I bet you could never find my AirTag where I put it on my bike. Here's the thing. One, remove the speaker, sure, if you want, it won't make a noise, great. When it comes to finding this on a motorcycle, I think people are thinking of it like themselves if they were to take apart a bike to try to find something, not like someone who's willing to steal other people's property. If I'm the type of person to steal a motorcycle and live a life of crime and whatever, and I get an AirTag alert that one's on the bike, I'm not gonna like pick the lock on the seat and shine a flashlight. I'm going insane on this thing. I am driving a knife through this seat and carving it in half and gutting it like a deer, trying to find if they've put the AirTag in the foam. I'm gonna take a crowbar under the seat and snap it off. I am then going to rip apart the carburetors. I'm gonna rip off the tank. I'm going to take apart this unit. I'm gonna rip off this panel and pull out the headlight bucket and just destroy this bike trying to find that AirTag. I don't care. I don't care if I ruin the seat doing it. I don't care if I break some panels or if I scratch the paint, because at the end of the day, I'll put it back together once I find the AirTag and drive it off somewhere and throw it away. I believe people would be pretty violent to find these things, that I'm not under the belief that you could hide it so well that nobody would find it. I think that if you gave me 15 minutes, 10 minutes, with no rules on a motorcycle, I could find this 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. I know that's a big thing, but I could take apart this entire motorcycle down to the frame in about 1:15, and that's without damaging anything. Motorcycles are very easy to take apart. So to take apart an AirTag with no concern over the care of all the parts, man, you could get down to the studs on a bike quick to find an AirTag. Another comment that a lot of people said is, well, I don't care if it alerts them, I just need to know where they are. And I'm on the road, you know, gun in hand, going to find that person. They're gonna drop the bike because they know that they only have a 10-minute head start on me before I'm coming for them. And I think people are imagining the bike being stolen like while they're at a cafe and they see the bike leave 5 minutes, you know, they go inside, grab a coffee, 5 minutes later, come out and the bike's gone, and everyone's like, oh no, and, you know, we gotta go get the bike and whatever. But because this isn't a theft device, it doesn't really alert you that it leaves. Now you can have it alert you that you're out of range of it, like for your keys and stuff so you don't leave them at a restaurant, but you wouldn't do that for a motorcycle because you're constantly going places without the motorcycle that are outside of 200 feet of you. So you'd be having the phone go off every 5 minutes of your life if you left that thing on. So it isn't able to alert you that it's on the move, meaning if you're sleeping, you're not going to be notified in the middle of the night that your bike is moving. If you're on vacation, you're not going to be alerted that your bike is getting stolen out of your garage. If you're in the grocery store, you're not going to be alerted. There's no alert. And so the only way for you to know that your motorcycle is missing if it gets stolen is one, to physically look in the position that you left the motorcycle and have an absence of motorcycle. It's to come out of the cafe and go, my bike isn't there anymore. Or to just religiously check the Find My Device app on your phone, just refreshing and making sure it's still in the same spot. So the idea that you're 10 minutes behind this person and you don't care if the notification goes off because you hope it scares them away and leave the bike somewhere, it doesn't, that only works if you are incredibly aware of where your bike is located and you quickly see that it's missing. So it's a nice idea that you'll know when someone steals your bike, but at the end of the day, I would be curious if I was to look at the statistics of stolen motorcycles and how quickly someone found out that their bike was stolen from the minute they stole it. And I bet it would be hours and hours. It would not be minutes, meaning the person would have more than enough time to get to their house, have the notification go off on their phone, and rip this thing off and keep moving. Again, it's better than nothing. I understand that. Toss one on your bike if you want. They say that the best security systems are layered with multiple security features. So, you know, add this in as one of your security layers for your bike, but don't toss this on and just think, think, I've got a GPS tracker on my motorcycle now, and I'll always be able to find it. Call this Chapter 2. Chapter 1 was the Apple AirTag sucks. Chapter 2 is about the GeoRide device and why I do recommend it. One is that I knew with all the comments of people asking what to use instead, I didn't want to just recommend a GPS tracker. I just didn't think that that was a big enough jump in functionality to go, don't use that, use this instead. There's a lot of good trackers out there, but I knew that if I wanted to recommend something that was going to cost you more money that you need to save up for and get a different device, that I wanted to feel good and sleep well at night knowing I recommended a product that could really help people out. And that's why I like the GeoRide. So not only is it a GPS tracker, and true GPS satellite, SIM card, it is also theft protection. So that sounds weird, but what that means is that it has a vibration sensor on it. So it can sense when someone moves the bike or tilts the bike up or things like that. So many GPS trackers don't have that, where they will notify you when it leaves a location, but it won't notify you the 30 minutes that someone spends trying to grind off the brake caliper lock, the brake disc lock, or the chain that you have on the back, or anything like that. So until it moves, it won't notify you. This will notify you. It can even have a siren that goes off. And so it's really good true theft recovery, much like a car. And then it has the GPS tracking. The third big thing that it has is crash detection. And that's the one where I was like, okay, this is definitively a better product than the Apple AirTag. It has crash protection. It has crash detection. Can't stop you from getting in a crash, but it can know when you do. So it's kind of like OnStar in that sense, where if your bike goes down and tips over while riding and all this stuff, it will know it just knows how to detect what a crash is, and it will call you, I believe this is the thing, it'll call you 3 times trying to get a hold of you. And if it can't get a hold of you, it will then call emergency services, send them to your location, because it of course knows your location, and it can call your emergency contacts. You know, there was a lot of devices I was in between on going. I was talking to Elena, I was like, what should I recommend? What's the best GPS tracker? I feel bad because this is an expensive device, it is, and GeoRide will admit that themselves. And I'm like, do I want to recommend a more approachable product? Do I want to recommend the best? You know, what do I want to do? And among a few questions that Lena posed to me that really helped, one of them, the big one was, what would you want me to ride with? What would you want me to put on my bike? And I was like, done. You're right. It would be this. It wouldn't be anything else. So it was very helpful for me to think about what device would I want on the bike of someone I care about, and that's GeoRide. So I'll actually be making a video going over all the features in detail. I'll be going over some of the installation. I don't want to tell you right where I put it. So some of the installation and the little changes I made, I actually modified some stuff just for myself because I can't help but try to make things better. And a full-on review of the product, the app, the using it, all that stuff. So that'll be coming up soon. But anyways, thanks for listening to the rant. Don't use an AirTag, and if you do, use it as layered security, not your primary security. Get GeoRide, use Jacob10 for 10% off. I appreciate you guys. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll see you on the next one.